Being cheated on is probably one of the worst things someone could ever do to you. Finding out about it is such a gut wrenching and disgusting feeling that I wouldn't wish this upon anyone. And as someone who has been cheated on in the past, I'm going to share this video with you so you can learn how to better heal from that situation, how to spot a cheater early on, and what to do after you found out that your partner has been cheating on you. So, what does cheating do to you? How do you feel after you have been cheated on? I mean, obviously, you feel bad. You feel bad because cheating rewrites your whole relationship. Every moment that you had with your partner suddenly gets rewritten because you feel like your whole relationship was just based on a lie. All the moments you shared together, or all the moments where they claimed to be somewhere else, they were probably going around and talking to other people, finding out about it. And I feel like the more details you get from this, the more painful it is because when you have the timestamps, for example, you know the exact date when someone cheated on you, and you see what they have been telling you where they were at. It's such a disgusting feeling to compare that. You start to question your whole relationship. You start to question what was real and what was not real. You start to question yourself. But it is not about you. Cheating doesn't always just end a relationship, it completely destroys your understanding of the past that you had with this person. It is not just about betrayal, it's about confusion that layered on top of the love that you had. It completely rewrites your whole relationship with them. You start to question yourself. You start to question things like what was real and what was he just showing me, or he or she or whatever. What were they showing me? Because everything that you thought you remember suddenly turns out to be a lie. Finding out that whatever you held on that person was just a lie. And especially if you get details on how they cheated on you, for example, the exact timestamps, like which days they did it and how they tried to do it and how they did it, it hurts a lot because it completely rewrites your whole understanding of the connection that you thought you had. And this is why cheating hurts so bad, even after you break up with someone. You need to start trusting your intuition more. Cheaters are always good at manipulating you. For example, if you feel like, ooh, something is off and my body kind of feels uncomfortable around this person, you will start making excuses. Cheaters are always the ones to tell you that you're over dramatic, that you're overthinking, and that you're just over exaggerating. Cheaters are always the ones who seek the blame in someone else. They're never the ones to blame. You're just the over dramatic one. So that's why you feel anxious around them. You will start to excuse them, like maybe it's not about them, maybe I'm just feeling anxious, and maybe it's just about my trauma that is coming up right now. But really, the whole time it was your intuition that knew that something was wrong. Your body always knows before your mind does. Listen to your body more. You don't need actual proof in order for you to act, because once you have that proof, it's probably already too late. Because think about it, a relationship should be so full of trust and love. You shouldn't even have to doubt your partner. But if you start doubting your partner, if they are cheating on you, then there's probably something that is going wrong in that relationship. There's probably something that needs to be looked at. You don't feel scared out of nowhere, and your body knows that. Your body tries to signal something to you. So you either remove your energy or you start digging deeper. There are signs that you could look out for because cheaters always have a certain pattern, and you will realize this very soon that they are always trying to hide something from you, especially on their phone. For example, if you two are sharing locations and all of a sudden their location is turned off, or if they always hide their phone, they take it to the toilet, they take it wherever they go, it's always upside down. Why are they doing it? Like, why are they not trusting you enough to see what's going on their phone? What is there that they're scared of you seeing? Really ask yourself, because this is not normal. This is not normal. This is not how you act in a relationship. This is not how people act in a relationship. Because if there's nothing to hide, then you very well could show your partner what's on your phone, and you wouldn't have a problem with them potentially seeing what's going on your phone. Only if they have stuff to hide, they will try to hide their phone as much as they can. You will not get a glimpse at their phone. They will make sure of that. Really look at that. Really notice the pattern and then remove access. Ask yourself, why is this the case? Because, like I said, a relationship should be trusty, a relationship should be loving. You shouldn't have to doubt your partner. But if he creates that doubt, then no wonder you're feeling anxious around them. There's the saying that they fell in love with you when they first met you, but they hate the person you became with them. And that just means that you were not the problem. I can tell you, because if they fell in love with you, it means that you were probably a great person, but they start hating who you become with them, and they never ask themselves, why are they becoming like this? You must realize that, for example, your anxious thoughts or your overthinking all of a sudden doesn't come from nowhere, and it doesn't always come from your past. Maybe this person is doing that to you. Maybe they give you all the reasons to be like that. They hate that you become like this because you're starting to see a pattern. You're starting to see behind their mask. That's why they are hating on you. That's why they start abusing you. That's when they start manipulating you. That's when they start to rewrite your understanding of the past. They will often say things like, no, this didn't happen, and why would you accuse me of that, and what is wrong with you, you're over dramatic, and this never happened, and I never said that, and are you sure, and you're just anxious, and whatever. They will do that, and you will question yourself so bad. But I'm telling you this, you should stop questioning yourself. You shouldn't take the blame for someone cheating on you. See, we as humans, we naturally like to seek the fault in ourselves. Like, maybe if I did this more, maybe if I did that more. Let me tell you, you could have done everything right. You could have done everything possible to give them the love that you thought they deserve, and they would still go ahead and cheat on you. Cheating hurts because it could come from anyone. It could come from the most amazing person, the person that has so many nice friends, the person that has such a good relationship with their family, the person that has such a good reputation at work or in general. Anyone could cheat on you. And this is the bad thing, because there's nothing you could do to prevent that from happening. You could literally make a backflip and they would still go ahead and cheat on you. It's just in their nature. This is not about you. This is how they are as a person, and you cannot change them as a person. And you shouldn't even be able to change them. And also, you don't actually need to understand them. You don't need to understand them, and you don't need to make excuses for them. They're probably telling you things like, oh, my childhood was so rough, and all the past relationships were so toxic, and they always ended in the same way. And my relationship to my family is quite different. These are all sob stories in order for you to feel bad for them. Don't feel bad for them. This is manipulation sometimes. Like, yes, obviously, when you're in a relationship, you're going to share about your past, you're sharing what's bothering you in your life. That is okay. But if it's coming right at the beginning, this is probably just a sob story to lure you in. It is probably just for you to feel bad. Like, for example, in my case, my ex always told me things that, yeah, all my ex boyfriends were toxic and all they ever did was blaming me, so I was always the one at fault. So, what did this make to me? This obviously made me want to behave different. So, whenever there was a problem and I was going up to him, he was always very sensible about that. He was always angry about that. And He always excused his toxic behavior with his past. Yeah, this is just triggering me. You know my past, and they always blamed me, so I'm kind of just, I don't really know how to react to that and stuff like that. So automatically, it made me want to stop talking about what's going on for me, because I always felt like if I'm sharing what's going on with me, if I'm sharing what's bothering me in this relationship, he will just get triggered and get angry at me. So I stopped doing that. But you need to realize that this is a pattern. This is a manipulation pattern of them. They're not just doing it because they trust you so much and they want to let you in. They do it so they can take advantage of that in the future. I feel like you can always spot the difference between someone genuinely sharing something with you and someone using it as a manipulation by how they repair after conflict. Does their past always come up? Yes or no? If it comes up constantly, maybe this was just a thing about manipulation. If they don't bring it up all the time, if they genuinely try to repair with you after falling out, after argument, whatever, then it's probably from a genuine place. But if they use it as an excuse for their behavior, it was manipulation. Plain manipulation. It's as simple as that. And also, have you ever realized that they're never the problem? They are never the problem. Everyone around them seems to be at fault, but they're never the problem. Every ex partner was a problem. Every friend that they had was a problem. Every family member was a problem, but never them. Never them. They were never the problem. I also need you to understand that someone who is cheating on you is inherently insecure. It's not that they cheat on you and then they think like they're the best on this earth. That's why they have their options. No, they're deeply insecure. They need to seek validation. They need to feel wanted by something. And this is why they're cheating on you. Oftentimes, when they cheat on you, the person that they're cheating on you with often doesn't look anything like you. At some point, when my ex, for example, cheated on me, and I found out because the person he cheated on me with reached out to me, and I really looked at this person and I thought, like, what the hell is going on? Because we look nothing alike. But this is not always about attraction. They just took what was easiest for them in order to gain a quick validation boost, in order to gain a quick ego boost, because they cannot give that to themselves. And even if your relationship was good and even if your relationship was stable, they don't know that. You were probably stable, loving, and caring, but they don't know what's going on with that. They don't feel familiar with that because all they crave is chaos. That's all they've ever known in their whole life. Someone who has been cheating on you probably has been cheating in their past relationships as well. That's the only thing they know. That's in their character. And you shouldn't blame yourself for their character because, like I said, you literally could have done anything and they would still go ahead and cheat on you. That is in their character. But you shouldn't take their character and put it upon yourself and blame yourself ultimately because of that. You did nothing wrong. If you're coming out of this relationship and all of a sudden you're motivated to go to the gym again and you have so many new ideas how to spend your life and how to form your future, your skin is healing, you suddenly have fun going out with your friends again and you feel like you want to meet new people, you were not the problem then. You were not the problem. It was their energy that held you down. They were feeding off your energy. Have you ever realized that the person you're dating becomes more and more and more attractive and successful once you're with them? That is not just coincidence. That is your energy nurturing them. That is your energy bringing out the best version of them. However, the same way could also happen to you because they bring out the worst version of you. I feel like that's also a big indicator for someone being toxic or someone also being cheating on you. They drain your energy constantly because they're so deeply insecure. They feed off your confidence. So you will feel empty a lot of the times in the relationship. You will feel like you have nothing to give while they feel like they're glowing. You will look at them and you will put them on this pedestal, right? but they were only able to go on that pedestal because of you. But you feel like you're down here when in reality you're up here. It's just that they're draining you more and more and more and more and more. So you will end up here so they can control and manipulate you better. This is all a big tactic. Trust me when I say this. And sometimes, even when the relationship is over, for example, you still feel the hurt, you still feel the betrayal because it truly changes you as a person. You cannot just go around and find someone else and act like this never happened. It is a trauma. Someone cheating on you and betraying you like that is a trauma because it came from the person that you trusted the most, came from the person that you held so close to your heart. So obviously, it's a trauma. You will probably have problems trusting someone again, but this is okay. You really need to take the time to heal, to process, to feel your emotions, feel your sadness, feel your anger, feel everything that you need to feel in order to feel better. But don't just go around and try to look for distractions. And I mean, yeah, spend time with loved ones. You don't want to know how many times I called up my best friends. We talked about the same situation over and over and over again. God bless them, and honestly, I just wish the best for them because without them, I would have been empty. I would not have made it through. And what's so bad about this is not only that you're not able to trust someone again as soon as you want to, but you kind of become like this empty shell, right? So your whole focus during that time period was on your partner. You very well could have been going out with friends or spend time with your family, but you were always somewhere else in your head. You were always focusing on them in your head. You couldn't really enjoy the experiences because there was always your intuition and your fear and your emotions that were telling you that something is going wrong here. And this is not normal. So you kind of become like a zombie. You don't know what's really going on because you cannot even understand that. You cannot even understand their behavior. And you're always the one who took the blame, but you don't know what's really going on. Your friends were probably warning about you as well, but you thought like, okay, but they don't know the whole story. They don't know them like I knew them. And that's why you kind of try to, excuse their behavior in front of other people. But it is a big indicator if you need to excuse their behavior in front of your friends. You shouldn't even be put in a situation where you have to do it because your partner should be such a loyal, honest, and loving person that your friends should not even have to worry about you in this relationship. And once you're out of that and you will look back with clear eyes, you will think like, what the fuck was I in? You will start viewing this person as a completely different human. They are not who you thought they would be. They're a completely different person. But you need to realize cheaters, yeah, are lustful losers. Insecure, lustful losers. They need all that external validation in order to feel good. They need all that craving and all that feeling of being wanted. And one person is rarely enough for them because once your relationship is kind of settled, it starts to become boring for them and they need to seek that ego and that dopamine rush that they always knew. They need to keep it exciting, but that is in their nature. And a lot of the times they will not just break up with you like the most normal thing would be, like if you're not attracted to your partner for whatever reason or you stop wanting to be with your partner, you break up with them. You don't cheat on them, you break up with them, right? But oftentimes they will not just break up with you, they will cheat on you and keep it as a secret. And you might wonder, why are they doing this to me? Why are they not just breaking up with me? Yeah, the reason why they're not breaking up with you is because you're the only stability they have in life. They're feeding off your safety. They are feeding off your love. They are feeding off your stability. They need that. Somewhere in them, they're craving that, but they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to keep that. They don't know how to hold that. So that's why they're keeping you around, even if they treat you like shit. They keep you around because you're the only anchor of safety that they have in their life, because everything else is uncertainty. but uncertainty to them feels exciting. Not knowing when the next person is reaching out to them and not knowing what's going to happen next is exciting for them. But this is not what a relationship should be based on, right? And the reason why closure is so hard after a breakup or after you found out that you have been cheating on, because nothing they could have said is going to help you. Nothing they will ever tell you is going to be enough of an answer for you to finally feel good again. Closure is something that you need to give to yourself, because really think about it. What would you expect them to do? Like in my case, I did not want him to apologize to me. I did not want to get back together with him because I literally felt disgusted by the thought that his hands were going to touch me again. You must realize that closure is something that comes from within you. Closure is unfortunately something that you need to give to yourself, because nothing they ever say will be good enough for you to finally let go. Nothing they ever say, if they confront you with love, then it will devastate you, because you feel like, okay, but if you're showing me love, why did you do it to me? If they're ignoring you, it's going to open up another core wound in you. So nothing they will ever do or say to you afterwards is going to help you get the closure. I really need you to ask yourself, could you ever be back in a relationship with that person? Because your nervous system is probably staying on high alert all the time. And if you know that they betrayed you like this in the past, could you ever fully trust them ever again? Could you, for example, sleep well next to them if you knew that they could also be texting other people at the same time? Because, like I'm telling you, a cheater is a cheater. And once a cheater, always a cheater. I would never trust someone when I find out that they have been cheating on someone within the past. I would never even engage with them if I knew that from the beginning. Unfortunately, oftentimes we don't know in the beginning. Unfortunately, we only find out when it's too late. But you would also not trust a person who has been cheating on someone in the past, right? So if they have been cheating on you, why do you think that being back together with them is going to heal you? It is not going to heal you. It's probably going to destroy you. And I need you to realize you don't need them. You don't need to keep a cheater company just for you to feel like you're wanted. You should not even feel wanted by a cheater. You should feel wanted by a person that is genuinely loving you, by the people around you that are loving you, and by yourself. That's the people that you should feel the need to be loved by, not a cheater, not a betrayer, not the manipulator. And a lot of the times, cheating says more about them and their character than anything about you. Don't project their actions on yourself. It is not that you were not attractive enough, not good enough, that you didn't give enough love, or anything they might claim that you didn't do well. It is not about you, because cheating is never a resort. Cheating is never a resort. You very well could have been arguing a lot in that time. You could have had fights, you could have had falling outs with each other. Cheating is never a resort, because after conflict there always needs to be repair. Don't blame yourself for their actions. Yeah? You not understanding their actions is a good thing. If they, for example, give you all the excuses as to why they have been cheating on you and you still don't understand why they did it, honey, that's a blessing. That's a good thing. You don't even want to understand that, because not understanding where they're coming from means that you're not a bad person like that. They are evil. And I'm telling you this because no matter how bad their trauma was, no matter what they went through in their childhood, they're not the ones to blame for their childhood, yeah? But they're the ones to blame how they act in the future, right? You can always decide for yourself to behave differently. You can always decide to choose different the next time. You could literally wake up and be like, okay, I'm going to choose different for myself today. You cannot always take the past and use it as an excuse for your future behaviors, right? So stop excusing them with their past. Yeah, like they had it bad in the past and they have always been treated like shit, but that is not an excuse for them to treat you like shit. Also, don't seek revenge. Don't give them any more energy than that. You don't have to go down to a monster's level just to show them that they're a monster. Don't seek revenge. If they cheated on you, if they abused you, if they did this and that with you, and you were probably traumatized by them, take that as a catalyst. Use those emotions for something else. Use those emotions to really build your future. Use it as an inspiration. Use it as fuel for your future goals. Make sure that you build a life and you build a person within yourself that that person can never ever touch again. Make sure that then when they look at you that they don't even recognize you anymore. Make sure that you build a life that is very aligned with who you are. Make sure to use those emotions not to make them stop you or make you feel bad all the time. Use them as fuel for your future self. I feel like everything happens for a reason. There was not one time where I went through a heartbreak or a breakup where I didn't come out stronger. And it's not the first thing that ever happened, and it's not going to be the last thing that will ever happen. And probably when you look back at your life, every time you went through obstacles in your life, you came back 10 times stronger. When I see people going through a breakup, all of a sudden they're glowing up. They're coming as a baddie, they're changing their hair, they're changing their makeup, they're changing their wardrobe style, they're completely changing as a person and coming out even stronger. And if you really look back, you also came out stronger. If you extract wisdom from what has happened to you, and if you take that and if you're acting with that in the future, you're coming back stronger. You're going to rise and rise and rise. And they're just going to live their miserable life because, honey, let me tell you, they know who they are. They know, even if they're not showing it outwards, they know deep down. When they look in the mirror, for example, when they're lying in bed alone at night, when they're doom scrolling at their phone at night, they know who they are. And they are miserable. Don't go to places that you don't belong. You belong somewhere up here, but they're somewhere down here. Don't go down just to prove them that they're miserable. Don't do that. Reach a place that is genuinely unreachable for them. Yeah? Really, when I say trust your intuition, everything always comes out sooner or later. You will find out. Trust me when I say this, I found out in the most weird ways possible that my ex has been cheating on me. I found out where people that were reaching out to me that I didn't even know existed. People that said something and then my neighbor heard it and my neighbor told me about it and stuff like that. Really, really, really wild stuff that has been going on. You will find out. You will find out sooner or later. And make sure that if you find out, don't overthink it because it is just a confirmation for what you already assume to be going on, right? If that proof comes to your life, yeah, that proof presents itself in front of you, don't spiral back to old habits. For example, if you find out months after the relationship, don't spiral back there. You're allowed to feel angry. Call up a friend, talk with them, talk it out, and then let it in the past. Let it in the past. Don't wish bad upon them. Don't even give them a glimpse of your energy. Don't feel bad. Don't feel good. Wish them well. Say thank you. Say next. And that's it. And that's how you let go. You need to let go of that person. You need to let go for the sake of your mental health. You need to let go for the sake of your future self. Your future self is not going to thank you for keeping them around any longer than you need to. You need to cut off all forms of connection with them and you need to move on. You're allowed to grieve. You're allowed to take your time. Trust me when I say this, you will be okay. and you will be able to trust again, and you will be able to love again, and you will be able to find joy in your life. It is okay to feel bad, but make sure that you're not spiraling down endlessly. Make sure that when you're feeling your feelings, you at the end of the day, you're still getting up, looking at the mirror, and still hold yourself with such high regards. You need to look at yourself in the mirror. Give yourself a hug, for example. Tell yourself, you did so amazing. You survived all of this. And you're so loving, kind, and amazing. Tell yourself these things because there was something missing in your relationship, and you now need to give that to yourself. Don't rely on other people to give that to you. Don't rely on a new partner to heal you. You need to heal first. You need to give the love to yourself first before you can accept the love from other people. In order for you to accept love from other people, you need to believe that you're lovable first, right? So really take the time and really give yourself the love and the compassion and the grace that you always deserve. And let that loser go. For the sake of you and for the sake of me and for the sake of everyone, let that loser go. Let him live his low vibrational loser life and let him continue to go down that road. They will always be like that. They will not suddenly change because they're in a new relationship. They didn't enter a new relationship, for example, with a new persona. They're still like that because that is in their character. And if they didn't change while you were with this person, they will not change with another person as well. But it is none of your concern. This is not something that you should bother yourself with. Completely remove your energy from that person, completely remove their access to you, and move on and live your best life. You only live once on this planet, so make sure that you're making the best out of that. Maybe the situation was teaching you something and preparing you for something so good. And if that thing arrives, make sure to be grateful. Make sure, because at some point in your life you will look back at it and feel like, okay, this needed to happen in order for me to have that character development that I needed in order to accept the good things that were coming in my life. You will understand in the future. So don't feel bad if you're not understanding right away. But the universe has a plan for you. The universe doesn't work against you, it works in your favor. So when something leaves your life, you can be sure that something better is coming along the way. Trust yourself and trust the universe, really. And even though I'm kind of embarrassing myself in the internet a little bit by sharing all of this, if even one person is resonating with this, and if even one person can relate to this, and if even one person is looking at this video and feels seen and heard and understood, then that's all there is to it. That is enough for me. If just one person feels seen and helped by me filming this video, that is enough for me. I don't care. I will be embarrassing myself in the future a lot more, but I really hope that this kind of helped you. You're not alone in this situation, right? So I really hope this video helped you to kind of understand yourself a little more and kind of understand that what has been going on in the past is not necessarily your fault. I hope that you'll be able to heal from that. And if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you need someone to talk to, feel free to text me on Instagram or anything. So I'm sending you much love here and see you in the next video.